Hi, I'm Susan and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to get into this with you today, but first, let's remember why we're here. This is a place where leaders find their voice, use their voice. We practice, we learn, we practice, we apply, and we come back together and we just keep working this out because it is really difficult to be in a leadership role if you don't know who you are, you don't clearly have your voice established, and you don't know how to use it. That is what we call not good. So to transform ourselves from feeling a little bit confused, maybe a little gray, maybe a little less than confident, maybe coming out of a really hard season, all of those things. I don't know if you're healing through something in particular, but this is the place where we get to work on those things together. So if that is something that is important to you and speaks to you, hit me with a thumbs up. Hit me with a comment. I would love to hear from you. My passion, my purpose is to help transform leaders so that they can find their voice, use their voice, and have a purposeful, impactful statement on the world. Okay, last time we talked about 3 tips for finding your voice. We talked about your value system. You have to get clear with that. We talked about looking for evidence of your value system. You have to get clear with that. And we talked about your deal breakers. What are they? If you don't know what your deal breakers are, you will compromise your own voice. And that is more tragic to me than someone else trying to come in and squash your voice. Does that make sense? Does that jive? Okay, that's our little recap. Let's get into today's lesson. Today, we're talking about 3 tips for using your voice. And again, we're talking 3 to keep it simple. There are so many things, so many that we could talk about for hours about how to use your voice. For the purpose of this short space, here's what we're going to do. 3 easy things. Write them down if that's helpful, but it doesn't mean just write it down. It means you have to think about it. Self-reflect. Be aware, and then get out and try these things. Try them and then come back and tell me how it went. Share with this community. If building a community of people who can support you through your transformation to get to your very best self is important to you, hit me with a thumbs up, a subscribe, and share this video with anyone that you know is working on the same thing. I would consider it an honor if you would do that. Okay, let's get at it. 3 steps for using your voice. Step number 1 is your actual voice, okay? So this is literally your voice. How you use and protect your own voice is important in leadership. Think about this for a minute. Think about allergy season. Think about cold and flu season. Think about what else impacts, waking up tired. You didn't sleep, maybe waking up hungover. What is going on with your voice during those times? It's not really your true voice, right? It's tired, it's strained, it's not healthy. It sounds like it's far less confident than you might actually feel your confidence is in your own mind. So how you nurture and take care of your voice is going to be incredibly important. This is where your physical well-being and your mental well-being plays a huge part in your voice. Remember, you've established your voice in the last video. This one, you need to use it. So let's consider this. Let's say that you have an opportunity to share something, even if it's a meeting that's like low stakes meeting, but it's super high stakes for you because you have not made a contribution in this meeting before. So you're super excited and you know, hey, I'm going to accomplish a huge goal for myself by actually contributing something of value to this meeting. So yay, by the way, applause to you for doing that because that's how it's done, my friends. Do it and do it and do it. Let me come back. I get so excited. So you go to speak, and if you haven't been nurturing your voice, you're already going to be nervous. When you're nervous and excited sometimes do the same because you hear my pitch goes up. When you're nervous, your pitch can go up and then you're already vulnerable for not sounding like yourself. And if you're nervous plus tired, or nervous plus undernourished, or nervous plus dehydrated, your voice can do something so strange that you don't even know what happened. It's like, where did my voice go? But if that happens to you, it's okay. It feels like a big, huge deal because it's how you're judging yourself. But it's not a big, huge deal in the big scheme of things as a negative. It's a big, huge deal in the big scheme of things because you are pursuing a goal that is purposeful and meaningful to you. I don't know anyone who's good at public speaking or teaching or speaking on any level who hasn't gone through multiple first steps of saying the wrong thing, sounding terrible, choking completely, literally and figuratively, and just being bad at it for a while. So that's okay. And anyone who's at this table of the meeting where you decide to share should be your rally team. If they're not your rally team, that's okay. But you know what? They know that they've been there, or they're so terrified to try that they're more than happy to let you go ahead and have that experience all on your own. So don't feed too much into that. If it happens, get up, dust it off. It's not the end of the world. There are so many things that we just need perspective from time to time. So if you don't have that perspective or don't trust it, trust me on this one. It'll be fine. Do it again. The only way to bury that experience is to continue to get better at it. And the only way to continue to get better at it is using your voice. So take care of it, nurture it, pay attention to what you need to sound at your best. And I'm going to do you one more. If you're really serious about improving your voice, work with a voice coach. And if that sounds ridiculous to you or unaffordable, look up on YouTube, look up on Masterclass, look up on any platform that you can search to get some basic voice exercises. You're probably going to find it for a vocal warm-up, but the warm-ups that vocal musicians use are just as effective as how you can warm up your own speaking voice. And I promise you, it is a golden nugget of information because it really takes you from all over the place to a strong set of pipes. And that's what you need to assert your voice. Are you with me? Okay. Step number 2, choice. What do I mean by choice? When you are using your voice, you have the choice in using your voice verbally. You have the choice in using nonverbals. I don't know if I was saying hello while we're winding I don't know. At any rate, the way that you hold your body, where your shoulders are, the clothes that you wear, the jewelry you wear, the makeup you wear or don't, there are no rules. You don't have to hit someone else's expectation of what they would do for themselves. Listen, if I leave home without my eyebrows, it is not a good day because I look like I'm sick without them. I don't do tons of makeup, but I put on enough makeup to feel like I'm me. I just feel like I'm more myself with makeup on. Sometimes I have jewelry, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm dressed in a super cute outfit, sometimes I'm not. But I always know that what I represent is going to come through in my body language. The choices I make are going to come through in my body language. So are you using your hands? Are you putting them in your pockets? Are you holding eye contact with people? Are your shoulders up here because you're cold, but it really just looks like you have an unending question? You have to pay attention to what you're doing with your body. And then you have to pay attention to how you are perceived, received, even though judgments are not fair and judgments should not keep you out of access to things like jobs and safety and resources and things like that. But you're telling a story through your body language and your verbal delivery. So you have a choice in recognizing how you show up, and you have a choice in when to speak physically and when to be quiet. Now, how on earth are you using your voice through silence? Silence is the most powerful way, actually, to use your voice. Because again, just like you can be invited to compromise your own value system and lose your own voice, you can be invited to share your voice in areas that have nothing to do with you. And that is a mistake, because it is a time when you would be better served to choose silence as a way to demonstrate your voice. Let's see an example for that. One of the values that I said was important to me was, did I say trustworthiness? Because that is one. I think I said something about being ethical and that kind of a thing. So I'm just trying to find a good example. We can go back to Grace, but let's use trustworthiness. That is definitely a value that's important to me. If I stumble into a kitchen at work and everyone is having a conversation about something, and I'm just there to heat up my food, and I can hear that there is an unsavory topic. Now, it's not illegal. It's not breaking any laws or policies. It's just not something that I want to participate in. I'm going to heat up my food and get out of there. And if I choose to say anything, it's going to be, enjoy your lunch, enjoy the rest of your day. Silence is golden in that, because I need to know that to represent myself as my voice, uncompromised, is that I'm not getting involved. Because if I get involved with something that could really compromise the perception of me being trustworthy, like I am trustworthy to hold other people's information and not share it because there's a conversation going on that has something to do with information that's in my head, that, if I was more concerned about bonding with people in a way that might not be healthy, I would use my voice to do that. I would compromise my voice of being trustworthy, ethical, and having grace with people. That's not something I'm willing to do. I'm not going to say we don't face obstacles all the time. Again, opportunities are endless for us to get out of alignment with how we identify with our voice and how we use it. But in this scenario for this class, this second option of choice is so important for you. I want you to write it down, and I want you to put examples for yourself. In what circumstances will it be best that I use silence? Because I'll bet you already know at least 3 situations where it is best to not use your voice, but because you're practicing with how to use your voice, you might be tempted to say this and say that and say this and say that. No. Don't abuse your own voice that way. Don't overuse your gifts, your talents, your purpose, your skills, and just like willy-nilly out there just to be heard. That is a mistake in the way that we effectively use our voice with assertion, and we have confidence, and we have purpose and meaning. So we're not going to do that. That's why choice is so incredibly important. Okay, anything on that one? Leave me a comment that it's making sense and ringing true to you, or you need some more. You need clarity, or you need another example, whatever it might be. Let's move on to the third. So the third step of using your voice is your brand. I'm going to let that sink for a minute. You might be thinking, what do you mean brand? I'm not a social media influencer, or I'm not selling a product, or I'm not a branding or marketing expert. Let's not overcomplicate this. When you listen to anything about branding, you will know, or you will see, that the common thread is we can get so tripped up on how to create a brand, but when it comes to us as people, we are our own brand. We are how we show up. And I kind of got almost into this with our second example of choice, because your brand is part of your choice in how you're using your voice. It's not just about how you look. in what you're known for. Short hair, long hair, eyebrows, no eyebrows, lipstick, no lipstick, jewelry, no jewelry. It's not just that. Your brand is how you are showing up consistently with your messaging. When people have an idea, they hear your name and they have a visual of what they could expect to see when you show up, and they also have a pretty good idea of the value that you're going to add to that conversation, that, my friends, means your brand is clear. You have a personal brand. If you are not sure if you are demonstrating the brand that you want, self-reflection first, because if you go straight out and try to get feedback from people when you're not 100% confident, that feedback from someone, even if someone loves you, sometimes the people we love most really hurt us the most. Their feedback can just land so sideways that we can get knocked back a few pegs, and then we have to give ourselves time to heal and recover, get our mojo back, and then just get at it again. So I hate for that to happen to you. I would hope that you have some trusted individuals who are confident, they are mature, and that they can give you some constructive feedback, but you want to be specific with what you're allowing them to provide to you. Whatever you ask them to provide to you, you're giving them permission. So if you just come right at them and say, hey, what's my brand? They might not be tracking with the conversation. Some people are going to get it, and some people are like, I don't know. So, I mean, if you literally are in a brand like Levi's or Wranglers, or you drink Coke all the time and never Pepsi, people might associate someone else's brand with you, but that's not your brand. Are we following along here? Your brand is you. If you have watched enough of my videos on this platform, you're not going to really be able to describe my brand by what I'm wearing every day, but you're going to get the vibe and the feel, and you're going to know what to expect from me. You know my cadence. You know how I talk. I like to encourage. I am passionate about helping people find and use their voice, right? So they can live their very best life and fulfill their purpose and have impact on the world. That's what it's all about. My brand is, I want to help people transform. So am I living that brand, that I am a transformative person and I like to help other people transform? Branding, consistency, messaging. How are you showing up? What's important to you? What evidence am I leaving behind? What evidence are you leaving behind? And every single day being intentional about, is your voice still your voice? Being intentional about, am I sharing today or not sharing? Do I know yet? Do I need discernment for that? Maybe I was planning on using my voice in a certain way, then the whole situation changed and I had to change too. And I had to adapt and flex so that I didn't ruin and step on my own voice and leave that bad taste in someone else's mouth. It is a process. It sounds easy, but it's not easy. That's why we practice. That's why we have community. And again, if you're here this long, this is speaking to you because you're on your own transformational journey, and you're probably having lots of grace with me as I stumble on some words or say something that was backwards. That's having grace. The point is, your voice matters. It is important, and you need to apply it, use it in the world so that you are having impact to fulfill your purpose. That's what we do here. So to recap, 3 steps to use your voice. You have your literal voice. You have choice. Speak, not speak. What's my body language doing? And the third is your brand. How are you showing up? How are you representing yourself? What are you doing to nurture and share your voice consistently so people know exactly, oh yeah, that's so Susan. Oh, that's so Mary. That's so Stacy, right? They're going to do that one way or the other. Make sure you are solid with where you need to be. It's never too late to get that clarity for yourself, and it's never too late to get after pursuing what your heart desires. So my friends, please, these last 2 videos, Find your voice, use your voice. Share with this community. How is it working for you? Share your progress, share successes, ask me questions. Go ahead and leave any comment to share a thought, ask a question. I'm here for you. I'm excited for you, and I want to know how it's going. So until next time, find your voice, use your voice, protect your peace. You got this.